Welcome back, everyone. Well, that story could have been a little confusing, so let's break it down pretty simply. There's a US-based comedian, Chia, who is from Singapore, and like many countries around the world who try to make fun of each other through good-natured jokes, she tried to do the same with her, or I guess her country's bordered country, Malaysia, Singapore and Malaysia. And they kind of, joke and banter with each other sometimes. Well, her jokes kind of seemed a little insensitive to the New York crowd. They didn't really care about her jokes concerning planes from Malaysia. As we all know, some planes from Malaysia were lost, considered either crashed or completely disintegrated at this point. There has been very few wreckages sort of collected, or maybe none at all at this point. So it is still a difficult issue for a lot of people and sensitive. And since she made a joke about that, some people didn't enjoy it. As most comedians do, she just moves on and goes into the next joke section. Well, some of this was posted online, by her actually. Some of this was posted online. Malaysians saw it and were quite upset at this, causing controversy. Chia herself says she doesn't really care. She thinks comedy that pushes the envelope, pushes comedy to the edge, things that could be considered offensive or funny, is a staple part of comedy. And so she doesn't think that should change. So yeah, I guess that's her standpoint. So some people are angry and some people are not. As for me, I did say that I do like some comedy that rides that edge. Now, there was a huge, terrible event in the US in the early 2000s that people couldn't joke about for a long time. And I've seen some comedians start to use it these days to varying degrees of effect. And I think Chia is right that people should push the envelope, but also people need to be sensitive to others. And maybe these flights are a little bit too recent to be joking about. What is the comedy formula? Time plus delivery or something?
Something like that.
Yeah, something
timing,
like that. Yeah, timing and delivery, something like that. And maybe the timing on this was a little bit too quick. Yeah, what do you think? Too quick, just fine?
I mean, you could say time is relative.
Time is relative. It could go really slow for her.
Yeah, some people could think it's too quick, or some people. I mean, I think humor can be a way to move past something.
Correct.
A tragedy is, you can't just dwell on it. Yeah, maybe we can poke fun at it. It's not disrespecting it. It's not disrespecting the people that maybe lost their lives, but it's maybe a way for the mind to process it.
Correct, yeah.
That's what I think comedy is good for.
Yeah, comedy has a lot of good things. And I feel like the market should decide. If she makes jokes and a lot of people hate it, they'll stop watching her, and then she loses her job. So it's just let the market decide what is funny and not, I guess. The comedian market. What types of jokes do you enjoy?
I mean, I do like a little bit of the dark comedy, but I like smart comedy too. Like it can't just be dark to be dark, but I like the comedy where you think it's going one way and then it goes a completely different direction. So you never know what the punchline's gonna be. I like that kind of things where it's smart, has some depth, maybe layers, and dark. I like a little dark comedy.
Dark, layered, smart humor.
It's good to laugh at the difficult things in life, I think.
Yeah, there's a comedian I like that was really good at placing a joke at the beginning and kind of weaving it through the entire set. And by the end, the punchline kind of hits again.
Yeah.
And it's like there's one joke through the whole thing and then several jokes along the way. And it was like kind of genius level.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's enjoyable.
That's pretty slick, you get
exactly.
that. There's an art. There's an art to
There's
it.
an art to comedy.
Yeah.
And sometimes the art, you make a little mistake with your paintbrush. Yeah, and as Bob Ross would say, those are just happy little accidents. But in the case of Chia, maybe that was an unfortunate accident for her. But have you ever gotten in trouble for your jokes?
I don't think I've ever had anything backfire spectacularly.
Yeah.
I've witnessed some, other people. So, but myself, I don't know. Maybe that's just my perspective. I thought it was okay. I don't remember anything in particular. What about you? Did you have anything backfire?
Not too much. I've never been under fire for jokes that I've made. I think I've made some distasteful ones in the past, and that's just because I'm not a funny person. But I think by and large, there's been no backfire to my jokes. It's just, I say it and someone's like, oh, that's weird. I'm like, huh. Anyways, and move on. Yeah.
I'm pretty good at reading the room.
Yeah.
And, like, if someone's like, oh, that was offensive, but usually they're friends of mine, so they're not going to say anything, but they'll just be like, oh, whoa.
Ooh. And you're like, ooh.
But I'm comfortable with them, so it's kind of like that.
Yeah, exactly.
So no one's really mad, but they're just like, whoa.
Yeah, there was this one joke once. Back maybe when we were much younger, your mom jokes were the thing.
Yes.
Anyways, people say something, anything, and you just say your mom, and it was considered the peak comedy of the, what would that be, the 1990s and early 2000s, right?
Still pretty good.
Unfortunately, one of the your mom jokes landed quite poorly because the person's mom had passed away recently.
Yeah.
That was unfortunate. Yeah, I did not enjoy that moment.
Keep the mom jokes with close friends, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I learned that pretty quick. I think I was 17 at the time. All right, enough about comedy. Time to get serious and check out that vocabulary below. Try to use that in your everyday life, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Backfire.
Backfire.
Affinity.
Affinity.
Scathing.
Scathing.
Monologue.
Monologue.
Slick.
Slick.